Hi, and welcome to Why Is Your Dog Sick? Episode 2. Today we're going to talk about raw food with your dog's diet. Today we're just going to show you a basic starter to a raw diet or something you can do on a regular basis without actually going into a full-blown raw diet. So first you're going to start with a little bit of kibble, and you can mix the raw food with your dog's food. Here's a sample of some raw dog food. This is chicken and a little bit of gizzards. So something this size, I would say on an average day, if you put, say, half a cup of dry kibble in it, would probably be for a 20 to 30 pound dog for their food. I always feed in the morning too, so that way any pottying that they need to do can come out during the day and not in the middle of the night. So something to think about with a raw diet is having a loose stool. And that will be something to look at as you progress with your raw diet. So if you want to start the raw diet for a small dog, I would say go with a piece of a chicken wing. For a large dog, I would start with a wing, a whole wing. And you want to give them the raw bone with the chicken. If they don't have the bone with the raw chicken, they will get a loose stool. They do digest the whole bone in their system. So when they go to the bathroom, very rarely is there a piece of bone that's in there. I've never had a dog in all of my years have any issues with the bone. I do cut up the bones to make sure they are smaller so they will digest easier and go through. So you're going to want to also pick up a nice pair of shears to go with your raw diet. And you want to make sure they're actually poultry shears. And you can get these at your grocery store in the deli section or in the meat section, and also at Target and Walmart. I don't think Walmart really carries any good shears, so you want to make sure they are actually poultry shears. A standard pair of kitchen shears are not going to cut the meat, so you'll struggle desperately with that, and it's not easy to chop with a thick knife on your counter either. These cut through very easily. I would show you a sample, but I'm having difficulty with moving the camera and trying to do the show at the same time, so I don't want to mess it up. So I figured I would just pick these up and show you, and we're good to go. Any questions you might have, I'm more than happy to answer on my next program. And also, there are great deals that you can get at Walmart or the grocery store where you can buy a bag of like chicken legs and chicken thighs connected. Walmart, I know, is $7 for a 10-pound bag of chicken, which would last most single pet families a long time. Also, something to keep in mind is for cats. This is a great diet for cats, and I fed my cat a raw diet for many years. She got strictly raw meat and bone, no vegetables, because cats don't actually need any vegetables in their diet and are just completely carnivore. So you know, something this size of this bowl that I just showed you with that amount for my little 10-pound kitty was her breakfast. And I would cut it up really fine so that way she didn't struggle with chewing. I couldn't give her just a chicken wing. She was too old by the time I'd switched. So if you do have a kitten, I would love to see that too. Just throw the kitten a chicken wing and let them go to town, and I'm sure they have tons of fun eating that chicken wing and actually being able to get through the bone if their teeth are in good condition and stuff. So next week I'm going to touch on supplements to put in your dog's food, especially for sick dogs that do have mange. And also we'll go over a little bit of how to tell if your dog might have a skin issue or allergy as well. So we'll touch on that next week, and also keep in mind that if your dog does have a severe case of mange, you might have to go strictly raw. I think the grain-free kibble that they have now is a very good option, whereas before we couldn't feed kibble at all. We had to go completely raw for a sick dog. This is a great option for any pet. I would sincerely say go grain-free and avoid your dog getting sick. Also, if you want to throw a little raw in there, that would be fine. Some dogs do have a problem with chicken, and they do have intolerances and stuff. Chicken is the #1 meat allergy that pets have, so you'll want to keep an eye on that. But you could do other things. You can do fish, you can do bison, deer, elk. If you go hunting, by all means give your dog the hooves, the ears, the tongue, all of the gross stuff that you're not going to eat if you're hunting, the dog will love to have, and it's very good for them. Raw eggs are great, and usually something you would throw in once to twice a week. With their diet, it helps with their coat, and they usually are just fine with it being raw. As far as salmonella is concerned, dogs and pets do not have salmonella poisoning, but people picking up their stool can get infected by touching the stool and not washing their hands properly. So if you are out picking up your dog's pottying, you want to make sure you have a pooper scooper, you bag the goods and throw them away outside. That way you are not touching any of that in your day-to-day picking up of the potty. So as far as the dogs getting sick from it, they do not need to take antibiotics to get rid of salmonella. Antibiotics are not good for them unless it's very dire and they're very, very sick. So keep that in mind. And also the things that you can feed are very, very wide open. There's certain things you can't feed a dog, which would be tomato stems, grapes, onions, raisins, prunes you're going to want to stay away from. There's a whole list of things never to feed a dog. I've just found out the core of an apple is bad for them because I'll give them apple, banana, carrots as treats. I also throw out strawberries and anything else I can come across that they would like. I mean, they'll eat lettuce. If I make a salad, I can throw the scraps out. If I peel a potato, I can throw the scraps out. They're great snacks and usually better to start when they're younger. Sometimes a dog will be completely desperate for these things and will go crazy when they eat raw food. That just means that they need it all the more, and it can actually promote calming of your pet, not so hyperactive, less begging for food at the table, a more satisfied diet, and very, very picky eaters after the fact. So they won't want to have cheap dog food or cheap dog treats. So there are dog treats out there that are good that you could do, or you could just do pieces of carrots, apples, bananas. Mine pretty much get a piece every day. That's their little treat, and they also like ice cubes. So these are all good training techniques as well. So next week again we'll touch on supplements to put in, especially for very sick dogs, and we'll go over the body of a dog to know if they do have a slight problem or a more severe problem, and we'll talk about that. So remember, what you don't know can hurt you, and what you do know can save your pet's life. Till next time.